Leah.
Sashi Puki Jushing Metok Drum Rira Blingshi Nyingde Yempadi Sangye Shingdu Mikte Owargi Rokun Namdak Shingla Druparsho Iram Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami Sangye Shudang Soki Choknamla Jangchu Bardu Dakni Kabsuchi Daki Chinyam Gipe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sangye Juparsho Sangye Shudang Soki Choknam La Jangchu Bardu Dakni Kyabsuchi Daki Chinyam Gipe Sunam Ki Rola Penchi Sangye Juparsho Sangye Shudang Soki Choknam La Jangchu Bardu Dakni Kyabsuchi Daki Chinyam Gipe Sunam Ki Rala Penshi Sangye Juparcho.
Okay. So let's have the quiz. There's 5 parts to number 4. All right. Okay. Have fun.
I can't see the whole quiz. I can't even see a whole question. I don't know if it's okay for everybody else. Okay, now I can see the whole quiz. Or kind of little, but I can see the whole quiz. Thanks. Now I can't see it anymore.
Can you see it, Leah?
Yeah, now it's fine. Thanks.
Wait, just tell me, can you not see it now?
I cannot see it now.
Okay, but now it's fine.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know it behaved that way. Thank you so much. Is everyone done? No? Okay.
No, a couple more minutes.
Okay, cool.
I'm good now.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay, so we're continuing with. Wait, are there any questions before I start bothering? Nope. Okay. So this is class number 8 of course 18, and we're reviewing course 14, which is Lojong. Kalemigi, what does Lojong mean and what does it not mean?
Lojong is sometimes mistranslated or inadequately translated as mind training. But a more suitable translation is developing the good heart, and it refers to a set of advices on how to practice to develop compassion.
Which is also called in Sanskrit,
Bodhicitta?
yeah, it's just bodhicitta. That's the point. It's just bodhi. It's not some thing. It's bodhicitta. It's like the whole practice, right? What eminent Lama wrote about this fact?
About Lojong?
About what you just answered.
It was,
What are you looking at?
look at my notes because I can't remember.
No, it was just on the quiz.
um,
Did you take the quiz?
yeah, I didn't get. Oh, Diamond Lion.
No. Well, he says it too. The first
Oh, yeah.
Chankya Rinpoche Ngawang Lopsang Chundin 1642 to 1714. Right?
Yep.
Does that sound familiar? Let's see. Let's see how good I was. Look, there it is.
Babonka, right?
Yeah, he's a previous incarnation of Pabanka Rinpoche.
Oh, Ward, sorry. I have a question about the exam.
Oh.
Now that you brought up bodhicitta, the fifth power talks about the prayer
Uh-huh.
and like dedicating and praying that all your effort and good deeds to achieve the two forms of the wish. And there's like several
Two.
sets of
Two.
two. So that this means about dedicating it to the direct perception of emptiness, that form of bodhicitta.
Well, Aldo, if you'd been here for our last class, you would know the answer. Yeah, we talked about it in last class. Honestly, I think it's the first set because it's Lojong. Because generally when you talk about extinguishing self-cherishing, I mean, you can bring it to how, in fact, that is basically also extinguishing holding to a self-existent self. But generally, when people talk about this sort of thing, they are talking about the wish in its deceptive form, which can be divided into two parts, which is thinking about that and acting on it. So I think it's that division, although it could be both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so the Lojong we're starting this class with is called the Freedom from the Four Attachments, which is Shempa Shijel. Shempa means like kind of attachment. Shi means four. And Trel means freedom or like disconnected. It literally means disconnected, but it's actually coming up all the time in this translation I'm doing. I'm translating this book. I have no idea what it means. I only know like the words. So sometimes I know phrases, but not really. But Trell is coming all the time. Does it have that here? Probably has it. No, it doesn't. That's fine. That's what it's called. Anyway, this is a famous Sakya Lojong. What does Sakya mean, Aldo?
Those from the pale land, like gray.
Yeah, exactly. Good. I've heard you answer that before. Yeah, Tsa means earth. High tone Sa. Low tone Sa means to eat. So you gotta be careful if you don't want to order dirt at the next Tibetan restaurant you go to. You have to say Tsa, Sakya. Kya means like pale colored. Because the place where the first temple was built, or the place that they were from, had a pale earth color. So they became the people from the pale earth place, the grayish earth place.
But kya, kya can be used literally to refer to the gray color or not really?
I think so.
Okay.
You want to check? Sure, word. Oh, we really care about this dictionary as much as you do. No one does. I don't care. It's my class. Let's see. Let me make sure I get the spelling right. I'm pretty sure it's Sakya. Ooh, look, I was right. If you spell it with an R, it means autonomous. So you gotta be careful. So let's just look up Kya. It's a type of house or a wall by itself. Lotoko, yeah, harvest. Hold on. There's 154 with. Oh my god, that's a lot. Kya 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 kya. Oh look, kya kya. Look at this. Yes. It means, yeah, dok. Dok means color. Kar means white. This is A. This is the greater. So this probably means like off or something, how we use off-white in English.
Okay.
The Chinese say hui. Yeah. Oh, that should be the gray. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is grayish white, probably. Yeah, because this is gray. Huisa. Anyway, yeah, it can. There's probably another way to spell it too. I'm gonna be a huge boring nerd and ooh, I know a faster way to do this. Sorry everyone who doesn't care about Tibetan. Watch this. I'll search using Chinese. Kyalek. Kewa. Anyway, yeah, kya means gray.
Yeah.
Or kya kya. All right.
Thank you.
Cool. So, so this lineage is made up of, was passed from father to son and also largely from uncle to nephew. So in the class, we went over the 5 great Sakya patriarchs, the 5 males who are considered the pillars of the Sakya tradition. Aldo, who are the pillars of the Kagyu tradition?
The pillars of the Kagyu, Kadampas.
No.
No, No, Karmapa.
No.
No, but I like the present one. They call it a Karmapa.
Karmapa Kagyu is one of the branches of the Kagyu tradition based upon one of the famous Kagyu practitioners,
Okay.
who is I think, the grand student of Milarepa, who, by the way, is one of the pillars.
Okay.
Palmasambhava Hero is Ningmapa.
Baba is Nigmapa. Yeah.
Come on. I gave you one. Jetson Milarepa.
Okay, so Marpa.
Lord Marpa.
Yeah, Lord
Lord
Marpa.
Marpa, the translator. Who is his teacher? You better know this. Huh?
Naropa.
Yes. Who is his teacher?
Master Tilopa.
Oh, yay! He got it.
Yeah.
Those are the core pillars of the Kagyu tradition. Anyway, no one cares, but here are the 3 of the 5. And
And so the matriarch would be Niguma.
the what?
The matriarch, or how do you say feminine for patriarch?
Yeah, she's not considered a matriarch. She has her own lineage.
Okay.
Yeah. But good question. So Justin Drakpa Gelsen is he wrote it, and then his nephew, who was very, very, very famous Lama, Sakya Pandita Kunga Gelsen. Hey, why did Sakya Pandita get so famous? I only have a couple classes left. Sorry, all I got is tangents. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, he taught the Mongolians Genghis Khan.
No, that's his nephew, Pakpa.
Okay.
No, Sakya Pandita got so famous from the karma of cleaning his lama's poop
Oh yeah.
and seeing it as holy nectar. Wink, wink. All right. And his nephew, who's officially named Drogon Chugyal Pakpa, but everyone just called him Pakpa. What's Pakpa mean?
Arya.
Yes, it's a pretty good nickname. Hey, Arya, how's it going? Good, how are you? What you doing today? I don't know. Seeing emptiness directly, I guess. Okay, 2. Write the famous verse of the freedom from the 4 attachments. I love this verse. A person who is still attached to this life is no Dharma practitioner. A person who's still attached to the 3 worlds has no renunciation. A person who's still attached to getting what they want is no bodhisattva. A person who's still grasped to things has no worldview. Okay, what's the problem with this extremely holy verse? And verses like it in the Lojong. Lojongs, different Lojongs. If I told someone,
If your heart is not ripe yet, you can discard these teachings and it will be a serious bad karma.
that's true, but not what I was thinking of. That's totally true.
Okay.
Or if I walked up to a regular person who didn't have this training and said, a person is still attached to getting what they want, is no bodhisattva. How would they interpret that? Would they want to practice Buddhism? No, the problem with these verses is you have to have training to understand them. They're easily misinterpreted. Right? And they have been, just like all of Buddhism has been misinterpreted largely. in my world, I don't know about your perfect paradise, but my paradise is need some work. So what does it mean? A person who's attached to this life is no Dharma practitioner. What's the opposite of being attached to this life in one word? I think the next question talks about it anyway, but
Renunciation.
yeah. A famous Lama who is now passed on to nirvana once said, does renunciation mean having no friends, having no money, having nowhere to live? Is that what it means to renunciate in Buddhism?
No,
What does renunciation mean, Kelly McGee?
it means to understand that that's not where your happiness comes from.
What's the problem with thinking that's where your happiness comes from?
It keeps you in samsara.
Yeah, exactly. It's renouncing things that don't get you the things you want. That's all renunciation is, essentially. Right? I want to have friends. Do I want to have friends? I don't know. Most people want to have friends. I want to have friends I like. How about that? I want to have money. I want to have, what was the other one I used? House. Yeah, place to live. Okay. How would you get those?
Taking care of other people.
Yeah. And that's the opposite of renunciation, right?
Take care of other people.
¿Puedo participar?
Yes, taking care of other people is the opposite of renunciation. If you know where things are coming from, you know. Okay. Okay, what three worlds? A person who's attached to the three worlds. What's the three worlds they're talking about?
Desire realms.
The desire realm, that's one of them. What are the other two? Anyone? Where'd Aldo go? Just when I need him. It's the karma I planted.
Form realm.
Yeah, what's the other one?
The formless realm.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly correct. Wait. I'll give someone $20 if they tell me the other way to interpret three realms, three worlds. It's pretty rare. Guess you Michael asked sometimes. So I memorized it a while ago. At the second Guadalajara retreat, I learned this. What was the first? One of them. Things that live on the earth, things that live below the water, and things that live in the air. Didn't know that, did you? Okay. And why would you say a person who's attached to getting what they want is no bodhisattva? What's that mean? So, okay. Me and Kelly McGee already had this debate. We're going to have it again, okay? It's the ice cream debate. Remember this one, Kelly?
Yes, I love ice cream.
Do you? Okay. What? Oh, so you telling me, are you saying bodhisattvas don't like ice cream?
No, they can like ice cream.
But you like ice cream. You can't be a bodhisattva, right?
No, I can like ice cream and be a bodhisattva.
So you're saying Jetson Droppa Gelson doesn't know what he's talking about.
I can't be attached to my ice cream.
Does Jetson Droppa Gelson know what he's talking about or not?
Definitely knows what he's talking about.
Okay, so then how can you be a bodhisattva and still like ice cream?
I have to realize that ice cream is not fundamentally going to bring me happiness. Or it will only bring me happiness if I also give ice cream away to other people.
¿Puedo participar?
That's true. Yes, exactly. That's it. It's if you're ignorantly attached to liking ice cream, you could never be a bodhisattva, right?
Yeah, if I push the old lady out of the way at the grocery store to get the ice cream.
What? I can't push old ladies anymore?
No, that's really bad. Bad behavior.
I didn't see that anywhere. I don't see that anywhere in this poem. Fine, I'll stop. Kalamigi said so. Okay, a person who still grasps to things has no worldview. What does that mean? So you're telling me I can't grasp to this phone? Look, I'm grasping it. Do I have no worldview? Grasping.
Grasping to the idea that is self-existent.
So are you telling me the Buddha doesn't have a bowl?
It's grasping to wrong ideas, not to physical objects. Wrong ideas of how the objects exist.
So does the Buddha have a bowl or not?
Yes.
So the Buddha has a bowl?
No.
You just said he has a bowl.
No, but you made the quoting like implying a self-existent ball.
You're totally right. Aldo wins. Perfect. One of our Spanish students has a question. Alejandra, ¿tienes una pregunta?
Hola.
Hola.
Referente a lo que estás haciendo mención, Lama, la verdad es que yo me quedo analizando mucho este punto 3 y el punto 4 en donde hablas referente a lo que es que una persona está apegada a obtener lo que desea, no es un bodhisattva. En mi caso yo pienso que un verdadero bodhisattva sabe que soltando todo el deseo y yéndose a servir a otros seres, ayudar a otros seres, pues simplemente como consecuencia va a tenerlo todo. O sea, no tendría por qué no tendría por qué engancharse el deseo.
¿Me permites traducir, Alejandra? She's saying that referring to the third point,
yeah,
a bodhisattva should understand that he should give everything he has because he understands what the true results of doing that would be.
Okay. Perfect. But mi español es muy malo. Pero que Shantideva habla, how do you say warn? Avisar?
Advierte.
Shantideva adviertenos? Warns us? You translate, Aldo, I can't say. Shantideva warns us.
Caro is translating. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, of course. I didn't know if she was still on this channel or not. Master Shantideva gives us a warning about giving everything before we're ready. What does he say to us, Alejandra?
que si damos todo como consecuencia vamos a tenerlo todo también y podremos llegar a la iluminación.
That if we give everyone, we would have that if we give everything, we would have everything as well, and therefore achieve enlightenment.
Yeah, but we should be careful based on our capacity. So Master Shantideva says to us, in the beginning, just give vegetables. And eventually, you can give everything. Okay? Start with papas fritas. Okay, cool. The Holy Lama Drakpa Geltsen describes attachment to this life as attachment to one's practice of the ethical life and to one's learning, contemplation, and meditation. Explain the real meaning of attachment to one's practice of the ethical life. Oh yeah, this is good. I'll read it, then I'll comment on it. It means to practice one's ethics out of attachment to one's instincts, to what feels good, to what one's parents or school teachers or religious instructors early in life said, without examining it, to what one's culture has ingrained one to think, to what one's peers say, and to what is legal or not, rather than out of a well-reasoned understanding of emptiness and karma. Let me tell you something. I grew up in the 90s. Tell you a little something about the 90s, okay? I grew up listening to Wu-Tang and Biggie Smalls and Boot Camp Click, Gangstar. All those people smoke copious amounts of marijuana, okay? As they were my role models, I felt it was my duty. You see where it's going. Okay, so in the 90s, it was illegal. If you had like $5 or like $3, or even the resin of marijuana in your car in the state of New Jersey, or even a thing that had never been used for smoking marijuana that could be used to smoke marijuana, you could go to jail. There's still thousands of people in jail for nonviolent crimes for possession, sale, blah, 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 of marijuana. Okay? Now, legal. I mean, I don't know how many states it is now. It's like 23 or something. I don't know. No problem. Now people are just making millions of dollars off of it. Other people in jail, lives ruined for $5 worth of weed. All right, so like, what is legal is not necessarily what's right in our world, right? Another real quick example, slavery. Okay, do I need to say anything else? There's still slavery in the world. The most amount of slaves in the world are sex slaves, actually. It's a horrible problem. All right. But slavery is practiced as chattel slavery in this country, mostly against Africans, people of African descent. Black people, was totally legal. Okay? If I walked outside and killed somebody, I would be thrown in jail for life or something, had some sentence, or killed myself, which off the bat immediately makes no sense. They're like, killing is wrong. So for that, we're going to kill you. You're like, are you completely insane? Like, but if you kill somebody for this government at their behest, they'll give you a medal for it. Okay? My father, who's now deceased, was a veteran. Okay? Front lines, Vietnam. All right? It's not good. It's not good karma, okay? But these things are legal. So what is illegal and legal does not necessarily define what's right. And the opposite is true too. Just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's wrong. So I'm not telling you to go out and do anything just because it's, I mean, and to be aware, if it is illegal, and it is right, that's your bad karma. And it could also be your bad karma to get thrown in jail for it, you know, which many freedom fighters have been willing to do for centuries, right? A la Martin Luther King. Letter from a Birmingham jail. It's very famous. And many, many others. So you have to really act from a place of understanding these principles and deep in your heart. And it's not always easy. So good luck. 4, in discussing why one should not be attached to the 3 realms, the Holy Lama, Drogpa Geltsen. By the way, Geshe says the Holy Lama, which is part of the tradition. You don't address a Lama by their naked name, but it's basically a translation of Jetson. If you're wondering why he's not calling every Lama holy. It's not that all the other Lamas aren't holy. It's that Jetson is part of this particular Lama's title. Like people often say Jetson Milarepa as well. It means, J means Lord, like Jason Kappa. Jetson means like venerated, or you could say holy. So it means the Holy Lord, the Holy Lama. You know, like Christians say like Lord Jesus. It's out of respect. Okay, the Holy Lama Drogpa Geltsen mentions the pain of pain and describes the suffering of the 3 lower realms. Name these 3 realms, describe where they are, and explain how one takes birth in these realms. Ooh, always a good excuse to talk about emptiness. What are these 3 lower realms? Come on. Kelly, what are the 3 lower realms?
I'm not sure whether it's referring to the 3 desire, the desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm, or it's referring, yeah, it must be that. I was wondering if it was.
No. When they say the realms of suffering are the 3 lower realms, not the 3 realms. The 3 lower realms always refers to
Hell, animal, and hungry ghost.
yes. Exactly. Hero got it right as well. Good.
But how would we be attached to those 3? Oh, he's describing the 3 lower realms.
Yeah. In discussing why one should not be attached to the 3 realms, the Holy Lama Drogpa Geltsen mentions the pain of pain, which is the suffering of suffering, which is there's 3 sufferings: the suffering of suffering, the suffering of change, and the all-pervasive suffering, or the suffering that comes from being born in a body that is of a suffering type. Kaba Dukje ki Duknel, Duknel ki Duknel, which just means suffering of suffering. Gerkiduknel, the suffering of what's to come or what changes, and Kabajekiduknel, the suffering of basically of just the fact that you are a suffering kind of being. And so therefore born in a suffering body that gets old, dies, has problems, etc. Okay, so those three realms. Okay, Leah, how are we born in these three realms?
We have karma from our past lives. The karma of desire.
Desire. What kind of karma makes you be born in the three lower realms?
Oh, and three lower realms. If we do one of the immediate misdeeds.
Yeah, that'll put us in the lowest of the hell realms. Basically, it's not desire necessarily. You just say negative karmas, right? And negative karmas of a minor sort, generally the animal realm. Negative karmas of a medium sort, generally the hungry ghost realm. Negative karmas of worse than that.
The 10 non-virtues, right?
Yeah, negative karmas, whatever. There's 84,000 non-virtues, but the 10, that's the top 10.
That's the summary.
Yeah, the summary or the 10 most. It's like the FBI's 10 most wanted. That's Buddha's 10 most done. Okay. But Aldo, how are we born in these realms? Like, how does it happen? When I died, does like a Casper the ghost come out of me? It's like, woo! And then there's an animal body, and I go, ooh, there's a doggy. Woo! Now I'm a doggy, and it goes in, and then I'm like, woo, woo. Is that how it works?
Yeah, the hell factory is in Kansas.
Exactly. Churning out hell guards.
You just a projection shifts, and you're forced to chew the pen instead of write with it, and then you're a dog forced upon you by your past bad deeds.
Yay, you got it. Everyone got it. The three lower realms are the realms of animal, tormented spirits, and hell beings. Ultimately, these are located where the mind is located and is forced by one's own past karma to perceive them. And one becomes a being in the lower realms by perceiving the world as one of these beings, as Aldo just said. And he even uses the same exact example to perceive the objects in one's world in a way that a dog perceives them is what is to be a dog. Got it? Okay. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. That's the Tibetan. Yen Sung Sum. What's Sum mean there?
Is that a number?
Yes. I'll give you a hint.
So three.
Yeah, the only number in the question. Yeah, 3. Yen literally means bad. Sung means went. This means you went to a bad place, and there's 3 of those bad places you could go. I won't bore you with the rest of Tibetan. Okay, 5. How many questions are there? Oh, that one. Hey,
It's a lot.
you better speed up. I got TV to watch. What reasoning can we use to decide whether the people and experiences from the earlier part of our life were somehow spiritually significant? Oh yeah. Here's a question. Kelly McGee, my favorite debate person. You ready? You ready? Okay. Let's see. Was your 5th grade teacher a Buddha?
remember my 5th grade teacher.
6th grade, 4th grade, you pick the one. You don't
Uh,
remember them if they were a Buddha, so I guess not. It's just a question.
yeah, they were.
They were a Buddha?
They taught me a lot.
They taught you how to get enlightened?
Um,
Wait, they had this little thing on their head like that, and they were like 6 feet tall with like perfect shoulders, and
No,
they were like
disguise.
answer the question. Were they a Buddha or not?
Apparently not.
Okay. Bye, Leah. Now I can only bother Kelly. It's fine.
No, Aldo's here too.
Aldo already knows all the answers. It's not fun to bother him. Okay. So then was your 5th grade teacher spiritually significant?
No.
Yeah, they weren't. So this question is completely irrelevant.
Irrelevant because I don't have any inkling that they were spiritually significant.
Yeah, they weren't spiritually significant. So there's no reason that Holy Geshe Michael included this question.
I'm sure he had a reason.
Yeah, but based on your life, there's no reason.
Yeah, except I somehow arrived here today.
Yeah, but okay, how many of your teachers were Buddhists? How about that?
I don't know. They could all have been.
How many were?
Maybe like 1 or 2. I had some really good teachers along the way.
Maybe?
Yeah.
How many could you definitely confirm?
Oh, I don't think I could confirm any.
So that's none,
I
right?
might have a little suspicion, which is why this question would be helpful.
How many?
None. They were.
Yeah, none. So this question, we should just skip it. It's number 6. What state, right? We should skip it?
I don't skip it. I'm sure it's here to teach us something.
Okay, I'll get to the point. What determines, even though it seems as though right now to you that your teachers were not Buddhas, right? Based on what you said, what determines whether they were Buddhas or not?
My perception of them.
Yeah, and what determines your perception?
My past actions.
Yeah, so here's a question. Is it possible that the actions you take now could create a perception that you realize that your teachers from the past were actually Buddhas then?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You can call this idea spiritual revisionism. From their own side, the events and people from the earlier part of our life have no nature of being spiritually significant or not. As we become more pure, though, we begin to perceive them in a different way, as very special spiritually, which, although not independently true, independently, self-existently, naturally, from their own side, true, is nonetheless completely valid as the perception that they are just ordinary. Got it? What's the biggest sin in all of Buddhism?
Thinking something self-existent.
Thinking you're ordinary.
Ooh.
But that's like more higher teachings, no? Isn't it work?
Aldo, cállate. I'm trying to drop gems here. I'm trying to bring students up, man.
Okay.
Don't mess up my skillful means, bruh.
Sorry.
God. It's a comedy show. Don't ruin the punchlines. Oh, God. Anyway. Okay. Number 6. Of course, that's the highest teaching. That's the highest teaching. I'm trying to get Kelly McGee enlightened, dude. There's no time. What state of mind is described in the Wheel of Knives as the henchman of the devil? Ooh, Wheel of Knives. Okay. Aldo, describe to me what the Wheel of Knives was. Like the actual Wheel of Knives, not the story.
Not the story?
Like from the story, what is a Wheel of Knives? Like,
Oh,
yeah. But like, yeah, not the parable Wheel of Knives, the actual object.
oh, it was a crown of knives that was cutting the flesh of this previous life of Lord Buddha.
Yeah.
Giving him this unbearable pain and eating his own flesh and blood.
Exactly. Perfect. And it's like the whole thing, it's like a boomerang, right?
Yeah.
It only you threw it out. I have this metaphor that I came up with. It's like a bird pooping. Think about it. When birds eat like fruit or seeds, right? But sometimes they don't digest all of them perfectly, right? That's the whole point. That's why seeds have coatings, so they don't get digested, so that they move through intestinal tract into the ground where the poop is with the thing, and then therefore they grow, right? That's why it's a good reason to cook certain kinds of seeds, because there's things on the top. The things on the seed are nuts that make them hard to digest. Anyway, animals, if you ever look at animal poop, like if you're in nature, there's all kinds of undigested stuff in there, right? Like deer poop, fox poop. Depends what they were eating, but you'll see it there. Anyway, certain birds live a long time. You know, parrots live like 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah, a parrot can live to be like, watch, I'll show you. A parrot can live to be like 90s, 80s. It's I didn't know that. Look, parrot lifespan. 95 years.
Wow. More than humans.
Depends on the human, right? Depends on the parrot. Look, do parrots live for 100 years? Large parrots like macaws among the longest lived parrot species. Healthy macaw parrots live an average of 50, but they have been known to live up to 100 years. Okay, just
Macaque parrots are guacamayas?
no sé en español. Macaws, I'll show you.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
It's the big one, right?
Yeah, guacamaya.
Guacamaya.
Yeah.
Here's the macaw. Yeah.
Yep.
There they are. I think that's the parrot, you know, like when people think of parrots, it's like, you know, there it is. Okay, that can live to 100 years, that being. Okay, so that means that macaw, because they're from like Costa Rica or something, like Central America, right? So they could be in some forest in Costa Rica, eat something, poop it out, go to some other part of the forest, come back in 20 years, be standing on this tree, and that tree could literally be the tree that they planted, and they would have absolutely no idea. There would be no way for them to know that. Isn't that possible? Yeah. Your whole life, that is your life. You're doing things, planting these seeds, you're pooping in the rainforest. And what is that big rainforest in Costa Rica. I forget. There's a couple, but I forget. Anyway, and then you're coming back, or it comes back to you, and you're just like, what's this have to do? Like, why? You know? I mean, that tree could also land on the parrot too, right? And kill it. So that's rough. That's the Wheel of Knives, or Crown of Knives. I think Geshe calls it the Crown of Knives nowadays. You throw it, it comes back to you. But you don't know why it's coming back. You're just like, what? It's the husband when you open the door, and the two husbands. They're just yelling at you, and you're just think it has nothing to do with you. But it has everything to do with you. Anyway, the henchman of the devil, this is the whole point of all the Lojong classes. Grasping for yourself, which is the opposite of bodhicitta.
Would grasping to oneself and self-cherishing be kind of synonyms or not really?
Actually, we talked about a little bit in last class. To me, in my mind, I don't know any Dharma teaching that says this necessarily. This is just my understanding after studying for 10 long years. 10 years. Is that grasping to a self-existent self and self-cherishing are different ideas, but in their ultimate form, they mean the same thing. And if you think about exchanging self and others, they do mean the same thing, right? There's two ways to achieve bodhicitta. Basically, you can do the 7-step cause and effect method, which is seeing all beings as your mother, wanting to give their kindness back, loving them like your only child, wanting to take away all their pain. Oh no. Oh God. What's the 5th step? Ninja. Say what? Something's wrong with my brain, but maybe I'm missing one. Taking self-responsibility for all beings, and then achieving bodhicitta. I skipped one, but thank God I made this lovely chart. What did I miss? Oh, remembering and then repaying. Okay, yeah, I combined 2 in my head, or it didn't count right. Anyway, I like Hero. Hero says self-grasping is like the cause of self-cherishing. Yeah, in this text, in the Wheel of Knives, the Lama who of the book, the version of the text that Seiji Arao Takahashi is translating says self-grasping isn't the reason samsara happens. It's self-cherishing, which is rare. I think that's the only text I've ever seen it in. Here we're talking about self-grasping in the sense working for our own happiness. Yeah, Gessler says that both of them here, and in another sense means seeing ourselves as self-existent. So Geshe agrees with me. You could take it as both, and to me, they're both equivalent in their highest understanding. And like Aldo mentioned earlier in class, the ultimate form of bodhicitta is the direct perception of emptiness. So they do me like that. Ooh. Okay. Number 7. Oh, this is just a chart. Okay. It's an amazing chart. It it tells you the correlations to your problems and the thing that you did as you were tossing the crown of knives. Okay. Let's go over a few. Same problems I'm having recently. I have this problem all the time. Those who are supposed to help me hurt me instead. I failed to keep my mind on goodness in the past. Okay, that's true. I do that all the day. I find myself sick a lot. I almost never find myself sick. I did harm to the bodies of other people in the past. Okay, I give massages a lot. I help people's bodies, so that's why that doesn't happen to me. I have different kinds of mental suffering. Yeah, I have tons of them. I upset other people in the past. I do that all the time. This chart seems to be true. People around me are bossy. They're not really. I was arrogant towards those less than me in the past. You know, although I do have a penchant for arrogance, for some reason, very early on, I was extremely sensitive to when you have power over people, not treating them badly. I don't know. I remember being like 5 or something. I forget, young, and being like, how come anytime someone gets a little bit of power, they start treating people badly? And for some reason, that really turned me off. So I guess I don't have to be around bossy people because I noticed that in a past life. People say unpleasant things to me. They would if I talked to them. I engaged in divisive talk in the past. Unpleasant things often happen around me. Actually, they don't really. Oh, I fail to think of my world and the people in it as special and holy in the past. I mean, I've definitely failed to do that. But I don't know. I guess the karma hasn't ripened yet. I have trouble finding friends and other people to help me. This is similar to E. In the correlations from course 5, E and L are what of the 10 misdeeds?
L is divisive speech. Well, I guess you could do that a few different ways, but that's one.
No, in Jason Koppa's chart, as in course 5. Didn't we just go over this? It's also in course 9.
Results of the non-virtues.
Yeah, which one?
Relations of the non-virtues.
Yeah, which non-virtue?
Which non-virtue leads to splitting up, having an experience of
L and E.
Which one leads to the experience of having trouble finding friends?
And other people to help me.
It's not divisive speech.
No, in that chart, it's probably both, right? But in that chart, it's ill will.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking.
Yeah. That I find no one to help me, and the people around me hurt me, something like that. Anyway, people act in an intimidating way to me. In the past, I said bad things about spiritual people. This used to happen to me when I was a kid a lot. Not so much anymore. I feel depressed a lot. Yeah, I do. What is this? In the past, I encourage others to do bad deeds. I did used to encourage people to do bad deeds. Okay. Kelly, do good deeds. H, whatever I tried to do never seems to work out. Okay, this is H. Let me tell you something. Almost everything I do works out. If I really want to do it. Even if I'm driving on the road and someone wants to pass me, no matter how fast they want to go, I just get out of their way. I'm like, I don't want to get in anyone's way of doing anything they want to do. I mean, if they're trying to kill somebody, maybe I'd take some steps, but like, I do my best to just get out of people's way. I'm just like, go for it, whatever, like wherever you need to go. I do my best not to hinder people, period. I recommend trying it out. That, and if you can, help other people's dreams come true.
Can you use a synonym of hinder? That's like obstaculize.
Yeah, bloquear, to block. Yeah, hinder and block are pretty much synonyms. Yeah, create an obstacle. And no matter what I do, my Lama never seems to be pleased. In the past, I was insincere and hypocritical in my Dharma practice. I'll tell you something funny. I mean, sometimes my Lama is not pleased, okay? But to me, my Lama seems too pleased with me. Sometimes I'm like, I didn't actually do that much. I don't know why you're so why you're praising me. So it works the other way too, where you realize that like the reason you ever got praised has nothing to do with what you did. It's just because of how you treated others in the past. I mean, you could literally try to save all beings and you will get crucified. Okay? You could literally go to the other side of the world and kill people, and when they come home, they will give you a parade. Okay? Eventually, you'll get the karma from the killing, and you'll get the karma from help of trying to save all beings. But the thing you get while you're getting it is not necessarily correlated to the thing you did right before you did it, or the reason the people are saying that you're getting the thing, right? I'm mad at you because doesn't really mean why they're mad at you. It just means why they're saying they're mad at you based on the karma you had that forced you to see them as mad at you, right? Okay, that's the crown of knives. Yeah, sometimes my Lama, and then other time my holy Lama, I'll say something and he'll be like, what? And I'll be like, that's completely true. I'll be like, you're just like, eh. I'm like, so don't take it personal. People seem to criticize everything I do. They would if I would talk to them. In the past, I displayed a lack of personal conscience and consideration of what others would think of my actions. Yeah, I still do that. And this word seem is key, because even if to them they're not criticizing you, to you it will seem like they're criticizing you. Okay, and that's crucial. The people around me can't seem to get along with each other. That's true. I live on the East Coast. In the past, I wished bad things on others and split people into sides. Yes, that was called high school. Okay. I have had or have some very serious health problems. Not so far. What am I doing good? I misuse resources dedicated to the Dharma. I'm very good at not misusing resources in general. And like, you could say to the Dharma, this is probably the worst of this, but you also think about like environmentalism, like don't misuse the earth. Okay, I'll tell you a story. I went to the store today, which I avoid like the plague, literally, because there's a plague. And I bring my own plastic bags. I bring my own bags. I have like a reusable Trader Joe's bag, and then I have like a bunch of other bags just in case, because I don't know how many bags I'll need. So I have like 2 or 3 other bags. So I go to the counter, and I'm like, the lady starts bagging my stuff because they automatically start putting in the bag. That's her job. And she's got to do it fast, right? We're in a city. So I'm like, oh no, I don't need a bag, right? And she's like, okay. And she starts putting everything, you know, on the counter for me to bag, which is perfect. So I start bagging everything up. And then I go to pay, or like, you know, this whole card thing. And I noticed that she removes the bag that she started to use and throws it in the trash. And this has happened to me, like, I've seen it happen. It's happened to me a few times. I'm like, really? Do you know how much effort it takes me to remember these bags, to save these bags, to bring these bags? You just threw away a perfectly good bag for no reason other than you touched it? I'm like, okay, it's your karma, bro. And I was just like, give me the bag. So she fishes this bag out of the trash and hands it to me. I'm just like, okay, I just paid my stuff and went. And in my head, I'm like, that's your karma, dude, whatever. All right. So do your best with other people's resources. Shared resources like the earth. Okay. What am I on? So I don't have very serious health problems because I save plastic bags. Oh, I tend to get very serious headaches or pains in my body. Sometimes I have pain, not headaches. I don't keep my spiritual promises and pledges in the past. Okay, yeah, I break all my vows like 100 times a day. Not all of them, okay? But some of them a lot. I often feel anxiety or worry. This is not one of my issues. In the past, I did wrong deeds against angels and the secret teachings. Woo! Hope not. I don't have enough money. I used to not have money, and then I started. Oh, yeah. I gave things to others and made offerings to the Triple Gem. I did do that. Aldo was there. He saw me. I love giving money to people who really need it at the moment they need it the most. It is the best. If you want really good karma, sometimes I used to be a cashier and people would be checking out and then they'd be like $1 short or something. I'd be like, just bam, I'm just like, take it. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yes. Or, I mean, give it to anyone on the street. I mean, you know, be careful. I mean, you don't want to contribute to someone's, you know, bad habit or something, but anyone really in need, it's amazing. It's a good feeling too. Okay, Q, I don't look very, very good physically. I don't have to look at that one. That's not my problem at all. I have trouble keeping my spiritual practice regularly and alertly. In the past, I behaved improperly towards Dharma. Okay. I love my practice. I'm doing pretty good. Yay. 8. That was just a review. I just used myself because it was fun. 8. Suppose we identify the kind of karma from our past that is bringing us the worst problem in our mind or in our life in general. Oh, by the way, this list, you know what's really sad? I've shared this list with a lot of people. But many people don't have a good enough karma to think this list means anything. Like they will think this list is bullshit. That's sad. It's really sad. And by thinking that, well, what's that called? 2 words.
Bad karma.
Yeah, sure.
Wrong view.
Ooh, Kelly McGee got it. Take that, Aldo.
He's helping me get enlightened.
What's that?
Helping me get enlightened.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
I know all I can think is if you like turned it into like a BuzzFeed top 10 quiz or something, then people would pay attention.
Yeah, well, if it's on BuzzFeed.
Like it has to, I don't know, it reminds me of like bad magazine quizzes.
Yeah, I understand.
You know, why, how to do whatever, how to.
Yeah, the top 10 things to do if you don't want to have a miserable life. Start at number 10.
What are you doing wrong? Like, take the following quiz, multiple choice quiz. And
Totally.
you answered 83 times, so you need to work on divisive speech. Maybe I'll flip it into that so people will pay attention.
You know what I hate? I hate when they have those top 10 quizzes and they start with number 1. You're like, dude, can I give you some marketing help? Like, if you start with number 1, I'm going to turn off the video right after number 1. You're supposed to work it up. There's no reason to hear 2 through 10. Okay? Can we help these people, Kelly McGee? All right. Anyway, 8. Suppose we identify this kind of karma from our past, bring us the worst problem in our life, our mind, or our life in general. Are we necessarily doing that same kind of karma now? What can we do about it? Are we necessarily doing that same kind of karma, Aldo?
Necessarily.
No. And like, because you're doing something on that list that's bad now and not experiencing that karmic result, does that mean that you got away with it? You're not going to get any bad karma?
No. So, like Nagarjuna says, it's all the bloody fault of the time gap.
Time gap! I'll get you! Yeah. Yeah, for good stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if every time I gave, 3 pesos, a los niños en la esquina, Ruben Darío y Pablo Neruda, and my bank account went up, then I'd be just like running kids down, like, yo, take these pesos, I have dollars too. They'd be like, oh, okay, negritos, sorry. Right? But instead, I'm just like barely giving them like 3 pesos. I'm like, okay, just take this. No, I don't want your dulces. Go away. Right? Because my bank account goes up in 2 weeks, and I think it's because I worked. Anyway, here it is. Because of the time lapse between the deed and its consequence. Why, Aldo? We really know this stuff. You should be an ACI teacher. Nonetheless, one way to quickly stop most of the effect of this karma is to be extremely careful about doing even the smallest form of the same deed in our current daily life. Yeah. Okay, you can read the whole thing by yourself. How many? 12? I got 10 minutes. Here we go. Suppose we like another person, but we can't get close to them because of some third person who's always close to them. Discuss the difference between how versus why in the situation and the apparent solution versus the real solution. Okay, I was just thinking about this in my head. I was having a debate in my head, as I often do, with some... Who was my debate with? Oh, a science person. I was debating someone who was into science about how and why. You want to get good at debate? Debate yourself in your head, okay? You'll also be prone to arguing with your girlfriend, so maybe you shouldn't. Okay.
Wait, you were debating yourself in your head, but you were actually were pretending that the other person was a science person?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that. Like, what would a science person say on this? And it's like playing yourself in chess. I'm just like, da da da, and they're like, nah, 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 nah. I'm like, da da da. They're like, nah, 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 nah. I'm like, but they're both me. I'm both assholes. Okay. Not just the one that I usually am. So what is the difference between how and why for making and going to work? What's the difference between going to work and making money? What's the difference between the how and the why?
How is going to work, but that's how your seeds are ripening. And why? It's because you've been generous. You've
Yeah.
been giving others money in the past.
Yeah. Okay, everything's like that, including being close to people. Geshe Michael just picked this specific example, but it's all like that. All right, just like Aldo just said. Sorry, we have 8 minutes, so skipping. 10. Halfway through the Lojong or text on developing a good heart entitled Crown of Knives. Oh yeah, he calls it Crown of Knives here. He probably midway through his class changed the translation. He's like, Wheel of Knives. Nope, Crown of Knives. The author, Master Dhammarakshita, says he has finally realized just who my enemy is. And who is this great enemy? Oh, this is what we talked about in last class. Leah asked about it. What's the Tibetan for what you should do on the head of your enemy?
It was the word from Mixed Nuts that she was referring to.
Yeah, exactly. Chem say chem. You're supposed to go like, yeah, like literally dance on their head, being like, ha ha. Okay? You have to make those faces too. He is both the tendency of self-cherishing and its immediate cause, the habit of grasping to oneself as being self-existent or having some nature of your own independent of your projections forced upon you by your past karma. Okay? What's the fourth power of the 5 powers as in the Lojong Dunduma as taught by Kadampa Geshe Chikawa?
Destruction.
Meaning what?
I like to see it as these games that you have like a hammer, and as soon as this head of a crocodile appears, you smash it like.
Whack-a-mole.
That's the name of the game?
Yeah, whack-a-mole.
Whack 'em all. Oh yeah.
Whack-a-mole, like a.
Oh, whack a mole. Okay.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's crocs, sometimes it's moles, you know.
Okay.
Anyway, whack-a-mole. Yeah, that's exactly. As soon as something comes up, you have to crush it. You can't let them run. I did it a couple times today. I think because I'm teaching this, when I took the quiz, and a couple times I caught it. I was like, yes, I did it. I did the fourth power. Usually it just runs though, so don't be too happy for me. All right. 11. In slaying his newly recognized enemy, Master Dhammarakshita uses the Wheel of Knives now to cut the foe's own head. Explain just how this is done. How do you reverse it? How do you reverse samsara?
The same way you keep it going.
Right.
Meaning karma.
Yeah.
Instead of spinning the wheel of knives, spin the wheel of flowers.
Oh yeah, Aldo, I use your technique. I hadn't talked to somebody. Aldo taught me this thing while we were in India together. Because people are always getting in fights with me because I'm the aforementioned curse word. So someone got mad at me, of course, because I was being me, and Aldo's like, well, maybe you should give them an offering. Hera was there too. I was like, offering? I hate them. Why should I give them an offering? He's like, well, there's this thing called bodhicitta. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. Anyway, I hadn't talked to somebody for I think 19 years, Aldo.
Wow.
And I tried, and I remembered their phone number for a long time. It was in my head for some reason. And I tried to call them. I tried to text them. They never got back to me. I think I called them too, never heard from them. And I was like, we have another mutual friend I still talk to. So I knew something they really liked. I saw it on YouTube, and I sent the video to my friend and told them to send the video to my other friend who I hadn't talked to in 19 years. And they wrote me back. I saw them last weekend. They're married, they have a kid. We played darts. I don't think I played darts since the last time I hung out with them. And they beat me as usual, but it was fun. So thank you, Aldo. But they weren't really mad at me. It's just some karma. Our karma ran out or something. But that's reversing the wheel of knives. You know, you do good things with wisdom. It's just like the wheel of life. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Ignorance, fresh karma, consciousness, name and form, sense powers, contact, feelings, basic desire, more desire, karma ripens, you're born and you die, right? If you want to stop death, you have to stop birth. If you want to stop birth, you have to stop the karma from ripening. If you want to stop the karma from ripening, you have to stop advanced desire. If you want to stop advanced desire, you have to stop initial desire. If you want to stop initial desire, you have to stop the feeling. If you want to stop the feeling, you have to stop contact from happening, which you have to stop the sense powers, the ignorant sense powers, the ignorant name and body, the ignorant consciousness, the fresh karma planted from ignorance itself, and you have to stop the ignorance. Okay? That's what they do in the monastery. It's called Lungjuk and Lungdok. The reverse order, the forward order and the reverse order. When I was a kid, my dad made me memorize the alphabet backwards. Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, and N, M, L, K. You can't really sing it. J, K, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Okay? Like that. But when you want to go backwards and forwards with it in your mind, so you know how it goes and how to take it apart, right? So the way you take apart the wheel of knives is by doing the opposite. Instead of trying to do everything for yourself all the time and dying for it, you do everything for others, even though it's against every urge you have because you were born of ignorant karma, okay? And see emptiness directly. And then get enlightened. Yay, okay. In my last minute, I'll do this last one, 12. The text says that our whole lives are constantly mistaking a reflection of the moon in our teacup for the real moon itself. This is supposed to prove that we should do good deeds. It's supposed to prove that we should do the good deeds we should and not do the bad things that we shouldn't. What's the connection? Basically, it's saying that, I'll just read it. The fact that certain circumstances have come together like a little smooth patch of water in our teacup and the shining of the moon, and that this has created the appearance of the moon in the cup is applicable to all other objects, which are created by the coming together of my own projections and the raw data on which they appear. Everything is coming together due to karma. But it ain't self-existent even though it came together. Okay, that's it. Questions, comments, criticisms? If you have any criticisms, you can write to kelly.mcgee@gmail.com. No, I'm joking. I don't know Kelly's email. Actually, it's in my email address list, I guess. But I don't remember what it is. Anyway, that's it. Who wants to sing the mandala? Leah left. Other people left too. They were over it.
I can sing word.
How come the ends of these classes always have like 3 people? They can't take me anymore. Okay, 1 second, Aldo. Do you know how many people start the Geshe course?
Thousands?
Nah, not thousands.
Hundreds?
Huh?
Hundreds?
Yeah. I mean, I think there was 60 in Geshe-la's class.
And only how many finished?
I
4?
think 2 or something like that. This is hard stuff. So I don't blame people for not doing it. Maybe next life. Maybe I got to change my presentation. I should just become a rapper and just rap Dharma. All right. Go ahead, Aldo.
Sashi Puki Yuksik Metok Tram Rirab Lingshi Nyende Gempadi Sangye Shingdu Mikde Uwargi Drokun Nandak Shingla Suparsho Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami Gewati Gewo Sunam Yeshet Sotsok Sunam Yeshet Dampa Kuni
All right, people.
Thank you, Word.
We have 2. You're welcome. We have 2 more classes and then the final review. And then I'll be done everything. So love to see you there. It's gonna be a party for me. It's also gonna be Valentine's Day when we're done. There's a plague. Don't kiss anyone unless you know them really well. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jero, for the translation, and thank you, Alejandra, for the recording. Gracias, Alejandra. Jero.
Gracias, Alejandra, para grabar. Gracias, Jerónimo, para traducir. Okay, thanks, Kelly McGee, for being my victim, my debate victim. Bye, everybody.